Thank you, Madam Chair and Committee. My co-sponsor and I are happy to be here today to talk just a little bit, and not very long, I promise you, about the Arts Plus Technology Boot Camps. And this is a bill that's about economic development in our state. And it's something that is highly unusual, something we should have taken advantage of a long time ago, but we have not. And we'll just take a few minutes and talk about that, and I'll see if my co-sponsor has any opening comments and get right down to it.
I've been very excited to work on this with Senator Elliott. We have so many incredible art-related items in the state of Arkansas that we need to be promoting, but everybody's been doing their own thing. We're trying to come together and to get a brochure done that will highlight all the special things as far as related to arts and how they play into technology across our state, so that when you go to one, you have a brochure that says, well, while you're here, why don't you try these other items out, or other venues out. So it's been neat as we get together, hearing other people go, well, when our community offers this, ours offers this. So from South Arkansas to North Arkansas, east to west, we just need to really promote what all we have to offer. So it's been fun working with Senator Elliott, and I'll let her finish telling you about it.
Yes, so thank you, Representative. So in 2017, I believe it was, some of you know this background, many of you are new and you may not. We started an arts caucus here in the legislature, and we were very deliberate about taking the 8 art districts that were established not by us, but by Arkansans and the arts. So there are 8 art districts, and we deliberately chose, work to make sure we didn't choose them. We asked people about being a part of the charter group, but we deliberately wanted to have a Democrat and a Republican in each one of the art districts, because the last thing we wanted this to be was something that was partisan. It's the arts and technology, for heaven's sakes, and we have a way of economizing that. So that worked out very well. And in 2018, I think it was, that we had a demonstration here at the Capitol after we had the charter members, just to show the different kinds of arts that we have. Because most of the time people think about, well, it's singing, it's dancing, and it's movies and all that kind of stuff. And it is, but it's so much more than that. And so what we're presenting to you is the real possibility and the potential that no matter where you are in Arkansas, if you come from a small place where people keep saying, there is nothing here, we beg to differ. And that we can take what's there and economize that, because we worked with 2 women who were essential to this work, with the Arkansans for the Arts, Lenore Schultz and Garbo Hearn, brought to us, you have a brochure that's on your desk, a couple, but what they showed us was what's possible. If you look at that, you can see the different things that people don't think about as being artistic. I grew up in a little bit of Willisville, Arkansas, in Nevada County, which is one of the smallest counties in the district. It's in the state. It's one of those places where somebody would say there is nothing. So the second part of what we will be doing with these boot camps, and the art folks wanted to call them boot camps because there's something different and it's going to be hard work. The second thing we wanted to do was do an inventory of everything that could be there that we've not recognized yet, and show how we can economize that. So if you look at the bill real quickly, I would just tell you about some of the things that you probably haven't thought of. At the very bottom on page 1, the creative economy consists of these kind of industries. All of these industries have are a part of the creative economy. Those are the big pictures. But if you turn the page, when we give the numbers, this is the page that has the numbers on it that's on the brochures that you got, so they're easier to see. But so what if these are the industries? What can we do with them? What do you mean economizing? So this gives you the background. When I said that people did the research, so we wouldn't just be down here talking smack to you about touchy-feely stuff. It is about using the arts and technology to make money in the state, and so people can grow where they are. And if you turn the next page, that's all about the boot camps themselves. So this is a legislative boot camp, which means that we have 8 art districts We're going to get 2 people from each one of the districts, so everybody will be represented. But they are going to be appointed by the Speaker and the President pro tem. And we are hoping it will be great if they're going to be bipartisan, but it's even harder now for them to be bipartisan. We just do the best we can. But we do want everybody to have equal representation. So when you get appointed, you will be a part of the boot camp. The folks from the arts will help us organize those boot camps, do the research for your district, so you will know what's possible from your district and everybody else's. And we plan to have, if everything works out, let's have some of these around the state. Not all of them will be here. And since it's a legislative boot camp, I know that will come up, well, how do you pay for it? It's a legislative boot camp, so we have funds in BLR that will support this kind of activity, so you know that. It's not any further money that we need to have. And on the next page is just all the stuff that tells us about, who we report to and so forth. And speaking of the report, at the end of these boot camps, what we will have is all kind of work for you to do, probably a lot of it in 2023, because we will be able to say, in District 5, here's what's possible. Here's the kind of legislation you might need to think about, because when we wed economy, arts and technology, we're going to be able to see a lot of possibility and discover a lot of things in your district, because we are doing something like small d, democratizing the arts and helping you think about the arts in more ways than one. For example, if you look back at page 1, just real quickly, I'll show you what I'm talking about when I say democratize the arts. Under those creative economies, where A, agriculture and agribusiness, there are people in this country who are using agriculture and agribusiness plus technology and turning things into a business as an art that we've not thought about. For example, there are people who, if you own a farm, for example, and there are people, you might just say New York City has never seen a farm in their lives, never seen a cow in their lives. And we can take things like that. If they're soap makers, we had people come to our, when we had the expo in the Rotunda, we had people who came from agricultural backgrounds and had all kind of things they showed us. They were artistic that they were doing. People actually will go on excursions to these places that are practically dying just to have the experience. So it's things like that are very different. Last thing I want to say, look at the very last page, the creative services. When I mentioned the big picture on page 1, these are different kind of services. But if you look at the last page, that's where it's broken down even more. All of these kind of things that are connected to the arts and technology, all of these are examples of some of the things we'll be exploring. I know if you live in District 5 and you don't even know that, maybe it doesn't matter right now. And there are things that are happening in there that you don't know about, maybe because nobody's ever thought about the cultural sites in a way that you can economize it as an art and technology combination. So after all this time, and we worked together with the Arts Caucus and worked with Lenore and Garbo Hearn, it's been what? I guess now 3 years of working at this, and we are ready to get things put to paper and make our reports and start this state growing where people are, because we cannot keep waiting for the next factory to come in and save us. And if our young people, our older people grow where they are, then they will remain most likely where they are. And we can grow all over this state and not just have 1 or 2 areas where we think everything is supposed to be, because that's why we're starting to think we can do better. Thank you so much. I'll take any questions, Madam Chair.
Are there any questions by the committee? Representative Mayberry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess I'm over here, Joyce. Sorry. And it's so hard to tell in here, isn't it? I guess my only request is this group meets to please make sure that people with disabilities are included in the conversations regarding the arts.
Yes, certainly, because I think there is so much, because especially people with disabilities, there are just so many things. It's another one of those things we've not thought beyond what we see all the time, and we will most certainly do that, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Seeing no other questions, thank you.
All right. I know y'all are just tired or kind. I don't know which one.
We have 2 audience members signed up to speak for the bill. And if I do not get your name right, Representative Senator, if you want to move on back in the audience, and we'll call the witnesses to come forward. First, we have Lenore Schouts. And if I get that wrong, please correct me when you come forward. If you will introduce yourself to the committee, and then you're recognized.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you about growing Arkansas's creative economy. I am Dr. Lenore Schultz, Creative Economy Co-Chair of Arkansans for the Arts. $2.9 billion in gross state product and 33,000+ jobs are the tip of the iceberg. Tracking the data is important, but what this is really about is looking forward to how we can actually proactively grow the creative economy. When I first heard about a camera on a cell phone, I thought, I don't need that. I've got a camera. Well, think about how we now use our cameras on our cell phones. We've become totally visual. Cell phone photography expanded even further with apps like Instagram, Snapchat, pushing the art and technology envelope and generating billions of dollars. Art and technology got us through a pandemic with Netflix, Zoom, distance learning. If you go all the way back to the origin of those game changers, they began in the arts, film, video, animation. Art and Technology Boot Camp will explore the art and technology that exists in your districts. So for example, the Innovation Hub in North Little Rock built PPE gear during the pandemic. In Magnolia at Southern Arkansas University, the art department has a major in game animation and simulation. Beyond the entertainment industry, education now uses gaming and animation. 3D modeling is used in architecture, modular construction, transportation, the military. Art and Technology Boot Camp will inventory statewide assets. We're consuming creative products from other states, but we could be creating that content here. Netflix and Instagram, California. Etsy, New York. Lexia, a phenomenal reading program that our Department of Education uses, Massachusetts. These are a few examples, but if Arkansas is to be competitive, investing in art and technology will pay dividends across every economic sector. And the first step is to find out what we have and build on it. Art and technology are generally separate silos in our education and industrial systems, and yet, creative people frequently merge these disciplines in their personal lives. Coders were often in the high school band or still riff on the guitar while solving a coding quandary. Patience, persistence, and accuracy are common to both music and coding. Governor Hutchinson has led the nation in adding coding to the Arkansas curriculum. Cross-silo connections in art and technology will spark even greater innovation. The whole idea is to see what cross-silo connections exist. Creativity attracts creativity. It's magnetic, and these people will create something new. Some sectors like tourism will be immediate beneficiaries as art and technology create things out of thin air, whether dinosaurs or driving tours. Some sectors will require germination, and if we seize this moment, in a few years, Arkansas will have grown the creative economy, retained the students who are now leaving due to lack of opportunity at home, will be retraining workers in advanced art and technology jobs, and attracting talent to our state. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next person signed up to speak for the bill. I'm sorry, my staff and I are having trouble reading the name. Is it Garbo Hearn? We were right. We got it.
Madam Chair, I just moved on down here so I can do a quick close when she finishes. So
That's
that'll
fine,
save y'all
thank
time.
you. If you would introduce yourself to the committee, please, and you're recognized.
It's on red? Okay. Good evening, I'm Garbo Hearn. I am the former chair of Arkansans for the Arts, and I fully concur with everything Lenore Schultz has said. It is time to stop thinking of the arts as just the warm and fuzzy. The arts play a big role in the creative economy in Arkansas, and every part of Arkansas has its own story. And it's time to realize what has happened in Northwest Arkansas can happen all over the state of Arkansas. We just need to find out what it is. And so I hope that you will support this bill because this is just the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator, would you like to close for your bill?
Yes, just very briefly. I wanted to recognize the folks that are in here who were part of the Arts Caucus in the last session. I don't see many of them. The second thing is, it's so difficult to get together, with the pandemic, but I'm inviting you to become a member of the Arts Caucus now. And in the House, Denise, would it be okay if I don't know, unless you have so many things going on, do you mind if we have Denise be the person that can come to and say they want to be on the Arts Caucus in the House? That'd be helpful if Denise will do that, because she was a member last time. Because you want to be a member, so when we come to your district, people need to know you are part of this and you didn't just show up. So if you'll let Denise Garner know you'd like to be a member of the caucus, that would be just great. And with that, I thank all of you.
We have a motion. Representative Springer, what is your motion? We have a motion to pass. Is there any discussion of the motion? Representative Garner? Oh, okay. We don't need a second. I thought you don't have any discussion. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no. And the bill has passed.